Cloudy, and today we're gonna do another tag. It is called the perfect makeup tag. I think I watched videos of this tag like a few months ago, but recently I've rediscovered it and I think I'm gonna do it today. I'm gonna show you guys a few items in my collection that could help me create a perfect finish or like a perfect something depending on what kind of product we're talking about. I'm gonna also give you guys a demo on my face right now, how they would look, so it's gonna be a lot of fun. The first item, primer, which primer creates the perfect base, and I picked this one, the e.l.f. Putty Primer. I think this is like a holy grail for half the world that are doing makeup. But at first I got it, tried it, felt indifferent about it because I didn't think it worked that well. But like time after time, specifically days that I have large pores, like today, when I apply a sufficient amount of this primer, I can see like such a significant smoothing effect. So I think this is like the best primer right now in my collection. To me, this is like the right amount for my entire face. I see people use more on their face, but I think like I have oily skin, so a lot of product can be very streaky. If I apply too much, yeah, it's very nasty. So, and I have to really massage it to get the product into my pores. Like this. My skin is very rough today. Very texture and like large pores. You know, for some days I don't have like extra energy to do my extravagant skincare routine. And hopefully this primer could help. We'll see. The effect right now isn't that significantly different from pre-applied it, but maybe with the foundations and the concealer on top, we can really notice how perfect this primer will look. Next thing is foundation, which foundation creates a perfect finish. I almost go for my L'Oreal Fresh Wear foundation, you know, that famous one. But so far that foundation is a real foundation, which there's nothing wrong with it because it's a foundation. But I want something more lightweight, more like tinted moisturizer finish, like something a little bit sheerer in coverage. I go for this one. This is from the brand Eyeshadow. It's the e.l.f. UV Sun Foundation. To me, technically, it's a sunscreen with a tinted finish, and it's beautiful. Like it has like cooling effect, goes on my skin smoothly. Like it's not heavy at all. It's very tricky to get the product from this packaging. Yeah, it used to have like a puff right in here, but it torn apart. So right now, to get the product out, I have to like press it and dip my sponge right into it. Yeah, it's a mess to you, but I love the finish so much. Yeah, I pressed out some product to the back of my hand like this and use a sponge to apply it. You'll see. not a ton of coverage, obviously, but to me it covers my like redness and my blemishes like beautifully. Normally I would skip out foundation, just use concealer is enough, but for the shake of the perfect tag, yeah. But this one is not like long wearing, so because the question is a perfect finish, I go for this one, but technically I would choose my Fresh Wear foundation over anything else. Yeah, I can already tell that I have large pores, like very visible pores today, but the foundation didn't linger into those, which is phenomenal. Moving to concealer, the concealer that gives the perfect coverage. I picked this one. This is like my holy grail, like the best concealer that I've tried is the Soft Matte Complete Concealer from NARS. I have the shade medium 1 custard. I'm gonna use my finger today to apply it. Or maybe my finger and then kind of smooth it out with a sponge. It has like a matte finish, so I think more coverage could be benefited from that fact. But it's just so good. Medium coverage, which I like. I don't like full coverage because my eyes will look like tiny without the dark circle. I think it's okay if you cover your entire dark circle with the concealer, but it wouldn't make your face look unrealistic, you know, like there's something three-dimensional about the structure of your eyes with the upper lid and the dark circle and some wrinkles in here. If you try to over conceal it, it loses the unique structure and my face would look really odd. So I adore this concealer so much. Right amount of coverage and matte finish. Some around my nose. I consider this area like the upper part of my lip and around my nose. This region right here is my problematic area. Someday it looks better, but all the time there must be issues around this area. I don't know why. Like a texture and very rough and red. Yeah, but it's fine. It's okay to make it look a little bit better with concealer. It doesn't have to be perfect. The next category is the powder that gives the perfect blur. This is my pick, the Eclipse Glow Powder Packed. I love this one so much. Mention it like way so many times right now. I have like nothing left to say about it. It's so beautiful. Can you see the difference? This powder magically filters away the oiliness, the greasiness of the skin made by some of the cream products we applied on at first, but it is not entirely matte. It has like a glow in it. Yeah, like I hope you guys can see like the kind of difference. Like the two sides of my face, they have different visual effects of a glow. Mattifying but glowing, healthy. This one is like glowing but a little bit greasy and oily. It could work for a lot of people, but I have oily skin. It will melt away without setting, without using a setting powder on top. You know what I mean? So I prefer applying a powder anyway. Visually, there's no pores at all. The next question is, which bronzer has the perfect undertone? I have to cheat on this questions a little bit. My answer is this bronzing palette from Ace Beauty called Bronzed in Paradise. It has 4 shades of bronzer. To me, the perfect way to apply bronzer with this palette is to mix these lighter shades, because this one is a little bit too light and this one is too orange, and I don't use the darker ones. So to me, I think I can mix the two and then create like a perfect warm tone bronzer. My preference is something more warm toned. The formula is not like excellent or anything. I don't think it's better formula wise compared to other bronzers in my collection, but the undertone of the mixture is perfect. So I think in general the idea of a bronzing palette isn't that bad when the range of it is suitable for your skin tone. But to me, in this case, although I kind of like it, this is so inefficient in a way that I have to look at 2 darker shades in this one and don't know what to do with them. I can use them as eyeshadows, but you know, when you don't see it right in front of your face, in a presentation, in a form of an eyeshadow palette, it's really hard to grab it to use for the other purpose. You know what I mean? So, but this one is good. It's actually really good. See, it's very blendable. Moving into blush, one of my favorite steps. Second favorite, just right below eyeshadow, but like not really far from eyeshadow. I love blush, and I'm gonna apply a ton of it today. The question is, which blush gives the perfect shade, has the perfect shade. I'm picking this one from this cheek palette. I believe the shade is called Cola Pop. It's like a deep burned burgundy shade. I don't know how to describe it, and it has like a purplish undertone. Yeah, it's something like this on a brush. Yeah, I think it's mostly pink, but has a strong purple undertone, which is my favorite. This is my favorite color. If you have a look at my blush collection right now, you would see like ton and ton of them that resemble this color, because like I cannot help wearing them all the time. And this is like a perfect shade to run across my nose. I don't know, is it just an illusion that I think this color looks so healthy? It's already a little bit overboard, so I'm gonna run through my complexion with the bronzer brush to see if we can blend the blush out a little bit. My camera cut out before I apply my highlighter, and now I'm here with my highlighter on. So maybe I'm just gonna answer the question, which highlighter has the perfect finish? This is my pick, the Soap and Glory Choosy Multicolor Blush Brick. Yeah, it was not meant to be an actual highlighter, but it has like super shimmering finish. So mainly I would use the, like every single shades in here is highlighters. Today I kind of swore my fan brush. Yeah, I'm still using fan brushes to apply highlighter. I swirl it to the entire fan, tap it off, and just apply like this. So the finish would be something like rosy toned, but has golden reflect in it, something like this. And to me, this is like a perfect finish. It looks almost dry and chalky on the pan, but on the skin, it doesn't look that bad. It doesn't look that, you know, texture or has any harsh particles in it, which is so good. I think it's quite soft, and something about it gives me like a right level of blinding when it comes to a highlighter, which I love so much. Moving on to the perfect formula of a lipstick. I cannot believe I chose this one. This is the L'Oreal Pro Matte Gloss. Yeah, all of the writing has gone, but to me this is like the perfect formula. Matte gloss is glossy but matte. Okay, you can see it better when I apply it, so let's see. You can call it a satin finish. Like nowadays, I strayed away from super matte liquid lipstick because they make my lips look dry like hell. And yeah, I prefer like lip balm, lip oil, or something has pigment like this, but still, you know, comfortable. So I don't think that we can still purchase this one. I think they discontinued this, at least in the area that I'm living in. So, which is a shame. I truly prefer this formula, but it can be easy to, you know, duplicate it or find something very similar. So maybe I won't feel sad so much for that fact, but this is like the perfect one in my collection right now. Lastly, eyeshadow palettes. Like, I think all of us are waiting so long for this category. There are two eyeshadow palettes that are gonna be mentioned. One has the perfect shimmer formula, and I go for this one. You know, like, to be honest, I have to pick my Ether Beauty Amethyst palette. Like, I have mentioned it like 10,000 times. Actually, that's the best one, but I mean, let's spice it up. Let's cheat it, give it a little bit of a switch. This is my e.l.f. by Side Eyeshadow. I have the Rose Water Quartz. Oh my god, lead. The two shimmers in here are, how can I describe it? Like high-end and luxury. I think a lot of people would agree with me, like strongly agree with me on this, that the By-Side Quad has like the most beautiful shimmering glitzy shades ever. And this is affordable too. Yeah, it's not very like indie brand shiftiness, but this is good enough. This is just that good. And the next one is the palette that has the perfect color story. This is the Nomad Cosmetics Berlin Underground palette. The color story in here is so unique to my collections. It's very like cohesive in a way, like if you are really into grungy, like fall toned eyeshadow look, you would like immensely love this one. This is not my style, but objectively I still view this palette has like the best color selection. Everything goes well together. You can mix and match. Like I don't feel like there is one shade in this palette that has a tendency of being left out when you incorporate it into a look, like an aesthetically pleasing look. It will look good anyway, depends on the way that you make the combination, you know. So everything works in this one. For the look today, I'm thinking something neutral on the lid. Use some like the red beans, kind of muddy red one, something neutral in here, maybe this one. And then on the lower lash, I'm gonna use the yellow golden one. Maybe the neutral shades on the lid, I will kind of top it with the pinky one to see how it goes. Yeah, let's do it. This is like the reddish shade that I mentioned. At first, when I look at this palette, I can only think of like a muddy green, khaki green kind of look, but actually using it, I can tell there's such a spectrum of look that can be brought about with it. It's so perfect. You can go like as deep as you want because you have a black and some of the darker shimmer. The only downside of this palette is that it doesn't have like enough matte. Only 4 matte shades over 15 shades. Not a great portion at all. So you really have to utilize some of the shimmer shades to blend out kind of the crease or to deepen up. But I don't mind at all. Like, I need shimmer more than I need matte. That's the case to me. I'm just using the same matte red shade to deepen up my outer corner. Yeah, I was about to use the black, but then no. It looks intimidating, to be honest. Maybe it's just hard to blend. Like, no offense to the formula from Nomad Cosmetics. This is one of my favorite, but in general, matte black isn't reliable to me. Maybe my skill isn't enough to work with something that dramatic as matte black. Okay, like at the center, I'm gonna apply this pinky mauve shade. It's gonna look so pretty, I can already tell. Yes, 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 yes. A big yes. Okay, let's use the shade in the middle, Poor but Sexy. I'm gonna bring it to my entire lower lash. Oh, it's gonna be a fun pop of color. Hope it shows up. Dang. I think I'm gonna finish the rest of my face, some liner, some mascara, do some touch up because I feel like My face is melting right now. It's so hot in my room right now. And I'll be right back for the outro. This is the finished look. Yeah, to me this is like the perfect way to apply makeup right now, you know, skin like finish for the complexion, a lot of blush, like deep color blush, yeah, something like a lot of bronzer, highlighter. Like the highlighter situations isn't like the perfect way for me right now, because normally I would skip it, but for the demonstration of the highlighter that I picked, I applied it a little bit. I could say too much, but I love it. Like, and the eye look, ooh, is so yummy. It's like interesting, yeah. And I hope you guys like my selections for the perfect makeup tag. In the future, I'm gonna do more tags. Hopefully, yeah, everything has to be said in terms of like hope, because as we progress, we can only see what will happen. Once again, I'm Cloudy, and hopefully we see each other again. Bye! By the way, I'm drinking my favorite drink. Can you guess what it is? It's water.